And hello and welcome to the show, The Reflection. I am your host, Will Williams. Today, my other two guest hosts are busy. So I'm going to be stepping in as the host today, and my guest is going to be Batista Gremaud. Did I butcher your name up?
You did just perfect, Batista Gremaud. Yes.
Okay, thank you very much. As we already know, the Reflective is a show where speakers come on and give a 10-minute speech. And the object of this show is for you to give just a little bit of what they have to present to you. And then hopefully at some point you decide to book and get them to come out to your business or group or whatever you may be having, that these people are somebody that you should have that can inspire your organization to reach beyond where they are. So get them motivated and inspired. See the vision. So Batista is going to give us a speech here in a few minutes. First, I'm going to let her reintroduce herself, and then she's going to tell you what she's going to speak about, and then she'll come back and I'll just turn her loose, and the rest is on her. So, welcome to the show, first of all, and now you may introduce yourself.
So I am Batista. I am the founder of Dr. Fitness International LLC. We are a health and wellness company. We specialize in ergonomic strength training and nutrition, stress management, and we also have a variety of wellness products, including the stem cell regeneration patch that's based on light technology. And we work with companies as well as individuals. We love spreading the good news about strength training, the benefits of strength training for physical health and mental health, and a holistic lifestyle, making it available for people in everyday life. So that's what I love to do.
Okay, that's a lot, too. That's a lot. So, let me ask you this before you give your speech. You mentioned there that this is for anybody, right? Or is it specialized for just athletes or people, like that?
Yes. So I'm having a little bit of a hard time hearing you. Your volume is very low. So
Okay.
I'm really trying to
Let- let-
understand. So you just ask if this is for everybody?
yes.
Yes, absolutely. You mean strength training or what we do or wellness
But
in general?
what you do in general?
Oh,
Can,
yes.
can anybody contact you and say, "Hey, can you give me some type of idea of what I can do to improve my life?"
Oh, absolutely. Strength training, okay, wellness in general, exercise, nutrition is definitely for everybody. Strength training is the underdog. A lot of times people have a lot of misconceptions, which that's what I love to dispel the myth on the misconception of strength training. But incorporating strength training in your daily activities for everybody, young and older adults, is something that will greatly improve everything about your life and your mind. And this is, what I really love to talk about is the mental brain health benefits of strength training, because that's a little bit of the new research that comes to prove it. I mean, those of us who do it, we know that it does that because we experience it. So we can talk about it until we're blue in the face. But now the research actually proves it. And so I love to to talk about it, because mental health is a huge topic. I think especially after pandemic and all the problems that we've seen in the last few years. I think that there's a lot of people that are suffering, and I think it's very needed for people to understand and know that there are things that they can do that are just accessible and available, and that don't cost a lot of money, and that can really make a huge difference in how they feel, how they think, how they live their daily lives, and ultimately just be happy, right? Because that's what we ultimately want. We want to be happy, right? I mean, we want to look good, we want to do all this, but ultimately we want to feel good and be happy and be there for our family and our children and our friends and those we love. So, you know.
Right. That's pretty good. Yeah, I mean, you gave a pretty good background on what you actually can offer and what the program actually is. So it is open for just about anybody that is willing to participate in it. But let me ask you this before we pitch to speak. Bring you back to something. Is it like a when you get on the program? Is it like a 6 week program or 8 weeks program or a certain time
Okay.
locked in?
So that's a good question. So as a company, we offer various programs. Okay. So, like, for example, if we work with businesses, companies, we offer programs that are 6 weeks long on different topics, because 6 weeks is a good amount of time to change a habit without being overwhelmed. We know that we can't really change, get the body of your dream, or that cliche thing, like in 60 days or 6 weeks or 90 days or 30 days or a week. There's a lot of hype out there, because ultimately it takes a lifetime, right? So we like to approach it, especially for the businesses, we like to approach it in bite size. Okay, especially when we work with corporations and businesses, because when we work with businesses, these are not the people that come to us voluntarily, in a sense, right? When we
Right.
work with individuals,
We're
they're the people,
screaming.
they're calling us, hey, I want to improve my life, right? But
Right.
when we work with a company, it's like the company saying, hey, it would be good for you. And so now we have to enroll them in a way that's appealing and not overwhelming, right? So when we do that, we like to do 6 weeks at the time. So generally speaking, we would do 4 different, we call them challenges, but they're not challenges in the sense of who loses the most weight or any of this. It's more about engagement. So we work on a topic exercise. Another 6 week would be more focused on nutrition or on stress management. And so we roll it out like this, so that it's we promote the philosophy of being consistently good rather than occasionally perfect, right?
Good.
So,
Good.
and when we work with individuals, because we do both, and again, it depends what that person wants. We have a 1 year program, and we have a 6 month program, and we have a 6 weeks program. And so, we have different systems depending on what the person wants to achieve, and of course their budget and their availability, because time is sometimes a factor, right?
Yeah. And they'll use that as an excuse not to enroll in something like this too.
We don't believe in excuses. We believe that where there's a will, there's a way, and a person will
Look,
find a way, or they will find an excuse. But sometimes we need to work around things, right?
absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. So are we about ready to give this speech?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I'm going to pitch to you, and the floor is yours.
You got it. So, the first thing that I would like to ask you is, how many of you, or you yourself, have ever lifted something like a child, a suitcase, or anything like this, and thought, oh, this is good for my brain? Have you ever? Probably not. So, but it is true. Weightlifting is good for your brain. And I'm here to talk about this and also to bust most of the myths, some of the biggest myths about weightlifting, and share with you some information that could, potentially save your life, actually. So, as I mentioned earlier, I am the CEO of Dr. Fitness International LLC. We are a wellness company. I came about this business from a dance background. I was a professional dancer and I had a lot of injuries and I hit a roadblock along the way until I discovered the Dr. Fitness USA's protocol, which changed my life entirely. And so my passion is to share the good news that there are tools that can transform your life and really give you your life back. And one of those topics about strength training, which was very, very life transforming for me, is one of the things I love to talk about. Because from a professional background, I was already into exercise, I was already into eating healthy, yet I was missing the one thing that can make all the difference. So one of the biggest myths, about strength training is that it is for younger adults and for athletes. So there is some truth about this because muscle mass peaks for women at 18 years old and for men at 20. So those who lift earlier in life have an advantage. It's kind of like they're building their investment, their muscle investment portfolio, right? They're busy building their bank, their muscle bank. And the longer you wait, the older you get, the harder it gets. That's the truth. But weightlifting is extremely important for older adults because it really helps them maintain muscle mass, bone mass, it improves balance. It has a lot of benefits, but there is more. And this is where muscle health meets mental health. And that's what I love to talk about because the research actually shows that exercise promotes neurogenesis, which is the ability of the brain to rebuild itself because it releases proteins that create new neurons in the brain, and that helps with memory and it improves overall brain function, generally speaking. So there is actually research that shows that strength training specifically has the potential to prevent or reverse neurodegenerative diseases such as Alzheimer and dementia by 30%. That's huge. But understand the difference between strength training and other exercise modalities. We had a clinical neuroscientist that was on our show. We have a show also. It's Dr. Fitness USA, the show, and it airs on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Dr. Fitness USA, and also on major podcast platforms, Spotify, iHeart, and all these. Anyway, this gentleman explained the difference about how exercise affects the brain. And I think that it's very revealing, and I love to share that with you. If a person does, say, yoga, walking, swimming, it's very good, right? It's very good for your health, but it affects the back part of the brain, which is responsible for daily activities, endurance, doing things, right? But strength training activates the frontal cortex of the brain, which is responsible for higher cognitive functions, such as decision making and emotional intelligence. Okay, so the different exercises affect different things in the brain that result in different things in daily activities. It is also responsible for integrating all the synapses in the brain. So If you're doing everything right, but you're missing strength training, then what's happening is you are like in the campfire, you're ready, you have your fire, you have everything, but you don't have a match. Okay? So strength training is the spark that lights the fire in your brain. It puts it all together. And again, research has backed up that. So now people might say, yeah, but I'm going to lift weight, I'm going to be bulky. So strength training does not make you bulky. First of all, it takes a lot of work and consistency and sacrifice to actually build a muscle, especially for older people. And when I say older, I don't mean 70, I mean 40, 50, 60, okay? Because sometimes we say older and we imagine 80 years old. No. Remember what I said earlier, muscle peaks at 18 for women and 20 for men. After that, if you're not doing strength training and maintaining or building, it's going downhill. So imagine muscle loss about 10% per decade. So by the time you're 15, 60, you're in trouble, right? So in any case, the other myth is, and we see this all the time, doing low weight and lightweight and high reps, that's not considered strength training. That's more in the aerobic type of activities. Okay, so that's a huge miss. It's called weightlifting because you're supposed to lift weights, not feathers. This is supposed to be heavy, right? So the person might say, yeah, but I might hurt myself if I lift heavy. And yes, you're absolutely right. You could very well hurt yourself lifting heavy weight. That's why you need a teacher. Okay. Strength training is a sport that needs to be learned. Now, you are in the sports. You know that somebody wants to learn a sport, they need a teacher. And so is strength training. Many people think they can just go from machine to machine, doing whatever and get the results they want, the mental health benefits, all the results that they want. And it's actually not so. You need to learn. Now, I know it's hard to find that work-life balance. Sometimes we have financial constraints, we have lack of time, motivation. Sometimes we think, oh, I don't have the time. I want to tell you that investing in your health will save you time, money, energy, because you'll become more productive, you'll function better, you'll make better decisions, especially if you incorporate strength training. You'll be more focused, you'll have more energy, and you'll be happier and you'll feel better. And of course, there's many other benefits of strength training, such as heart health. Huge research lately that shows that women who strength train 3-4 times a week can reduce the risk of cardiovascular death by 30%. It's huge.
Okay.
So I want to say that wellness is not expensive. It's not time consuming. What's expensive and time consuming is paying for poor health.
Before
Okay.
you close your speech, could you repeat that again? The last part you just said.
I said wellness is not expensive and it doesn't take that much time. What is expensive and takes time is paying for disease, for illness. That's expensive and that takes time. When you're sick, it costs money. As a matter of fact, 75% of healthcare cost is caused by preventable lifestyle disease.
Cool.
Do you know that? Yeah, 75%. Do you know that? What's that?
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. I mean, because people don't actually concern themselves with that cost until it actually affects. So usually it's not something that's even talked about in any kind of way.
But it's the truth, and that's valid for companies and for individuals. Okay,
Right.
because just as individuals, we are part of the healthcare cost. When we get sick, we go to the doctor, we need to take prescription drugs, we have cancer, we have to have chemo. All this is healthcare cost, okay? And 75% of these diseases are caused by lifestyle choices.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, they are.
And the statistics show, am I done? Did I do my
No,
10 minutes?
I'm going to let you finish what you were about to say.
Okay, perfect. So what I want to say that to complete that sentence, for every dollar you or a company spends on wellness, you make $6 savings on more productivity and showing up for work. All right. So if you are an individual or a company, I really want to invite you to a complimentary discovery session with Dr. Fitness USA. So go to drfitnessusa.com and take advantage of that discovery session to start embarking in a healthier lifestyle.
Oh, that's good. You closed the show just perfect. I was about to ask you to leave some information on how to get in touch with you, but you just covered that. You're good. You're good. Could you give your information, your contact information one more time?
Yes, it's drfitnessusa.com, and follow us on social media. We're very active on LinkedIn, TikTok, Instagram. You know, we post regularly. I have a newsletter on LinkedIn which you can subscribe to, and I write about health and wellness, good topics.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
pretty good. Look, this is what this show is about. It is letting you get a chance to reach out to the public and businesses to tell them exactly what you're doing and do it in a manner where it inspires and motivates people. So you've done that in this session. You covered
Thank
a lot
you.
of things. And so you were able to also talk about something that's really vital to this. That's cost. You know, like we both kind of alluded to, people don't usually think about the cost of it until it directly affects. Then they have to think about it. Do something.
Yes.
Like with me, like today, at this site here, I don't know what it did me. Something bit me. My eyes are swollen, so I'm not find out what.
Oh, you need the patch. The patch is good for this. The stem cell regeneration patch. This is a little miracle thing, the best thing that I've come across in many, many years. It's based on light technology, and it helps regenerate your own stem cells. And for things like this, oh, it just works magic. It's wonderful, but it works with pain. It works with everything that goes on. The patch goes to where the body needs healing, and it just works its magic. It's wonderful.
Oh, you see that? This turned out to be something else because you didn't cover that in your speech, but it turned out to be something that you could, let the public know you have.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, and it works for mental health too, for depression and the nervous system. Oh, it has so many, because it's all connected. Okay, health is all connected. The nervous system, the brain health, the muscle health, it all works together. So yes, this is, and you can find information on our website on this, also under the service page.
Right.
Stem cell regeneration. Yeah.
Okay. If I just had a question pop up on the screen, somebody was asking if you explain what the patch was, but you kind of just did.
Yes. It's a breakthrough technology. What it does, it's, you know that we have an aura, a light, right? We are beings of light. So this technology actually activates your own light. It activates the patch. It's not transdermal, so it's not a vitamin. It's not anything like this, but it gets activated with your own light, and then it regenerate some peptides in the body that are age reversal peptides. So basically, it just regenerates your own cells to do the work that they are supposed to do anyways. When we're younger, our stem cells are much more vibrant and energized, and they do the work we're supposed to do most of the time. But as we age, things kind of get sluggish. So this actually is age reversal. It works with your own light to regenerate your cells, and it works for everything. Eyesight, it depends whatever needs to be addressed. Like I had my husband was bit by some mosquitoes. We live by the harbor, and he had all these inflamed bites. Usually it takes 2 weeks to get rid of them. I gave him the patch. They were gone in 30 seconds. Seconds, not days. He didn't believe in the patch. He thought it was a scam.
Right.
But after this, he believed in the
You
patch.
believe, you turned into a believer, did he? Okay. Okay. And I think that testimony you just gave is going to turn some other people into some believers too. They're going to want to try this.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And I originally
Okay.
bought it because I broke my foot in November, and I was left with a little bit of nagging pain in the foot that wouldn't go away, and I just got I
Right.
got tired of it, and so I said, "Well, okay, let me try this." But yeah, the pain was gone in like 3 days. So I'm a firm believer.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, let me thank you for being our guest this week. And you gave a heck of a speech there. So after people seeing the replay of this, for those who are not looking at it live, contact this lady. She will bring some energy to your company and hopefully motivate your people to reach beyond what they see. So that's the
Thank you.
replay. So I want to thank you for being my guest. Thank you for watching this show, and we will see you next week with a different guest and different topic. So until then, have a good week.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.